Hi guys, this is Steve and this is this week's Gunners Xtra Podcast. I'm here with Ryan to talk about, what's really been happening in the news of Arsenal this week. How you doing, Ryan? You alright, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. You?
Yeah, I'm good. Bit of a boring week because it's the international break, but...
I've been loving it.
You've been loving it?
Well, right, Arsenal can't ruin my week.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, to be fair, even though we've not been playing, there's still been plenty of news about Arsenal players. So, yeah, let's crack on. So, have you been watching much of the games over the international break?
I watch the England games and I've sort of been floating in and out of the other games, but it's nothing to get excited about, really.
A couple of good results for England. Again, I sort of had them on in the background whilst I was doing a bit of work, but it's just easy work for England, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, what do you make of the old Sterling Gomez situation?
I think it could have been nipped in the bud. I think Southgate made a bit of a meal of it, to be honest. I know he had to make there's two ways looking at it. He had to make a stance. And if you believe the rumours, Sterling sort of went into the training camp and gripped him up by the throat, which did make me laugh because he's about 2 foot. But I don't know. Obviously, if that's true, then yeah, Southgate, he can't really win because he has to sort of show a bit of discipline. But at the same time, they could have shook hands and got over it.
I mean, this sort of stuff happens every day on the training ground. People get a bad tackle, you square up to each other and you move on. I think the fact the press got hold of it and made it into a bigger deal than it was probably didn't help.
Yeah, I mean, do I think Sterling would have been sort of banished for that one game if we would have been playing like a France or Belgium, Spain, one of them teams? No, I don't.
If it was Harry Kane, would they have done it if it was him?
I don't know.
The captain? You don't know,
possibly.
do you?
Yeah, you just don't know.
I mean, like I said, I think the press made a bit more of it than it was. This is the same press that I've been, laying into people in social media in regards to, hyping up the fans and stuff like that. Because did you see Gomez got boos from a section of the fans?
That's ridiculous. That's obviously stupid, idiotic fans. We've got plenty of them at Arsenal, so we know all about that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you know what I missed from the international break? There's no England players from Arsenal.
No.
Not one. And we used to flood the England team full of players.
Yeah, we did. I mean, people used to say we had a lot of British core and that, but I mean, people like Theo and that, they were never real starters for England, were they? It was always fringe players, in my opinion.
Yeah, but when we used to have Ashley Cole, Sol Campbell, Tony Adams, we used to have a good 50% of the England team, and now we've not got one single player in there.
Costs too much money.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. I mean, you look at someone like James Maddison, who I would love at Arsenal, absolutely love him in that number 10, but how much is he going to cost?
Yeah, it'd cost an extra 20 million on what someone in Europe would cost.
And the rest, yeah, definitely.
I mean, I suppose we have got like sort of Reece, Willock, and Nketiah in the under-21s, and they seem to be doing well. So fingers crossed they'll be sort of England players of the future. But, I mean, when you look over our squad, we've not got, many good international players at all. I mean,
we've got many good players, full stop.
So do you think us being in the Europa League is the reason we're not getting quality international... I mean, we've got international players, but not top quality international players.
It's a bit of a hindrance, obviously, being in the Europa. But, I mean, people like Oba and that are obviously top players.
It's good, but he doesn't play it in a great sort of international team. He's not like a Spain, an Italy, a Portugal, Germany.
The Lacazette situation, obviously, he doesn't seem to have much luck with France, does he?
No, he don't.
Giroud gets in above him, and I can't remember the last time he played for Chelsea, to be honest. Giroud.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He's got his favourites.
Yeah, which is good for us because it keeps him nice and fresh.
I mean, you look through the players we had on the international this week. I mean, Lucas Torreira played in defensive midfield for Uruguay, looked amazing this week. And his agent's been in the press basically saying he's unhappy at the moment. Why don't we just play him there? He looks great for Uruguay.
I don't know. I said it the other week. I don't know what Emery's plan is with him. We're screaming out for. Not that I think he's the answer in that position, but that's his game.
He's the best of what we got in that position.
Yeah. And it would free up Guendouzi a little bit. He could push slightly further forward because obviously he's a bit of more of a ball player.
I mean, I think we need to get a formation and stick with it and just let it go 2 or 3, 4 games so everyone knows what they're doing and you're going to be in that
Emery
position.
Knows what he's doing.
No, he don't.
He don't know his best team. Don't know his best formation. It's all got a bit boring. It's the same thing every week.
I know. Different manager, same thing.
Yeah, this is why I'm like I said, I don't agree with managers going mid-season, but I don't know where to go with it now. I mean, the next 3 or 4 games on paper, we should be winning and winning well. But this is Arsenal.
Well, if we don't win, do get 9 out of a possible 12 points, then you've got the likes of Man United, Chelsea, Man City, Everton. We're only going to get 3 points out of 12, I reckon. There,
massively false position. We're only sort of when we were third before the last international break. You think we was only there due to the rest of the league sort of struggling as well. And now we haven't won since the last international break.
It seems like Man United are picking up.
They've won a couple of results and then they're up your arse again, sort of thing. But
no, I mean, at the end of the day, we can only see what happens when we go through these next 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, obviously I've read in the press and rumours and that again. I'm not sure if they're true, but if Emery's got the next 6 games to sort of dig himself out of a hole, then he couldn't ask for nicer games on paper.
No, he can. I mean, I don't really give a toss about the Europa League games, but the next 4
Premier
Premier
League
games
on the Europa, but the next 3 or 4 Premier League games. All right, I'm not saying they're easy because team like Norwich away, I mean, they turned up and beat City.
I'm expecting maximum points. I want 4 wins out of 4,
I think we have to.
And good performances as well.
Yeah, that's what it's about. It's about the performance. I can handle only winning 1-0 as long as you dominate the game, but we're sort of not creating chances, not dominating the game, and you think, well.
It's, like I said, it's because we haven't got good international players.
But you say that, but then Wolves at home. Wolves are a good side, don't get me wrong, but we were a goal up, blew it. But we've still got players who can match their players, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. I mean, international players this week.
Palace, they haven't got great international players. How do you go 2-0 up against Palace and blow that? Seriously, there's no excuse.
So
for that.
do you think we just think we're better than we are?
I don't know what it is. I just think
or we're just lazy, or
I mean, I don't know. We let teams back in instead of going for the throat and thinking, right, we're 2-0 up. That next goal is so pivotal. Get the third and it's game over.
Well, I was thinking this, and I put a post on the Instagram the other day. We've got our 3 main midfielders, 4 if you include Ozil. Okay, Guendouzi playing really well. I like him, but he's still really young and shouldn't be playing as much as he is. Lucas Torreira, again, I want him in the squad, but he's unhappy at the moment.
Playing out of position.
Xhaka, he's unhappy. He looks like he's going to be going in January. And Mesut Ozil, everyone's been shouting for him to be kicked out of the club for the last 6 to 12 months. So it's our midfield. I think it's our midfield that's costing us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm yet to see, obviously, our front 3 sort of play together and get a little bit of chemistry. I want to see Ozil play with the front 3. I mean, yeah, we won't be the tightest at the backs. I don't think with the players we've got we'll ever will be. But having Ozil playing behind them front 3, there's goals there. I think,
I reckon if you play with that front 4, have Guendouzi and Torreira just sitting in front of the back 4, then I think you could build a team.
100%.
We're letting goals, I reckon, but I reckon we'll score. We just need to try and score more than we let in.
You don't want Torreira's obviously limited, but you don't want him sort of bombing on and trying to link up with the attack.
You don't need him to.
Caught and just do your job and sit there.
Well, didn't Chelsea do this with Kante last year?
They tried to play him for that was to accommodate Jorginho.
Yeah, exactly.
But you take something out of Kante's game. I mean, he's the best defensive midfielder in the world.
Yeah, him indeed, the best 2 that I've seen in the Premier doing that, and I just feel like he's trying to do that. And look at Kante playing back in his normal position this year, and they're looking really good.
The reason Chelsea got away with it is because Kante's that good and covers that amount of ground.
Yeah, he does put a shift in. I admit he does put a shift in, and we need players that put a shift in first and foremost. But now, I mean, I'm glad. I want to get back to the Prem because I need us to get. I want a good weekend. I need us to get a win.
I've said this the last 2 home games though, and I'm starting to get a bit of anxiety thinking about it. That they're going to balls my weekend up again.
See, the thing is, I mean, I'm dreading a 12 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday because that would totally mess my weekend up. But, I mean, Pepe's had a good international break. He won a penalty. He got the ball snatched out of his hands to take it, which got missed.
Yeah.
But they ended up winning the game. But, he had a good game. I mean...
I think people need to get off Pepe's back, to be honest. I mean, he's come into a new league, come from not the strongest league. You look at Henry, Drogba, people like that, when they first come to the country, they struggle for the best part of 6 months.
Yeah. No, I
don't think he's been that bad. You know what he's going to do. He wants to take people on and... You're not going to do that every time you get the ball.
I mean, he's played as good as anyone else. I mean, Aubameyang's, he's been playing good. He's been getting goals, but in the last 3 games, he's not been spectacular. But that brings me on to my next point, actually. Aubameyang, he's been linked with Real Madrid, Barcelona. His contract's due up in sort of summer 2021. What would you do with him if he's not signing? Is he waiting?
I think he's at a crossroads in his career, probably thinking, is he 30 now? he's probably thinking...
Yeah, it'd be 31 come the summer.
He's probably thinking, I haven't got a big move in me for much longer, and the way Arsenal are struggling, he's probably thinking, am I ever going to get that chance of going to a big club again?
Is he waiting to see if we make the Champions League and he make a decision at the end of the season?
I think Arsenal could go and finish third or fourth and get Champions League, but if Barca or Real come calling at that age, I think he'd think about it regardless.
Do you want to keep him?
Of course I want to keep him.
Personally, I'd sell him.
Really?
I'd sell him, right? And here's the why, right? I know, we've never normally struggled to get goals. I think having Aubameyang and Lacazette, one of them's always playing out of position and that doesn't work. It totally messes up the whole team. And also, he's 31.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if Barca or Real, whoever, come calling and he's adamant he wants to go, and Arsenal, for a 30, 31-year-old, can get sort of... Even if you got your money back for him, which is like 50, 60 million, I don't think it'd be a bad thing. As much as I wouldn't want to see him leave, but like you say, we've got another striker there. I actually think Lacazette's the better centre-forward.
Yeah, and I think he is better.
We're trying to play Aubameyang out of position, and it doesn't, obviously, he's probably not happy with it, and you lose something with him out wide. But, I don't know.
I mean, I just think he's 31... and I don't want another sort of Sanchez-Ozil situation where... Yeah. I mean, is he thinking, Mesut Ozil's on 350k, I want 350k. I'm the top scorer in the Prem, and I have been.
I think that's why Ramsey ended up jumping, because he probably thought, well, I run my tits off every game, and Ozil doesn't, which, all right, we all know what Ozil is and what he isn't. But Ramsey's thinking, well, I score more. Over the last year or so that he probably created just as much. Ozil's assist level's gone down.
Yeah.
And like you say, Ozil, and he has time off whenever he wants.
Well, and the board did say, they said, look, they're not messing around anymore. If someone goes into the last year of their contract and they're not signing, they're going to be sold. So,
which I'm glad we have taken that stance, because if Aubameyang wants to go, there's no point keeping an unhappy player or someone who's going to walk away for free.
Yeah, no, definitely. And
I think we will reinvest now. I don't think if we sold Aubameyang for 50, we'd think, right, well, let's just go with Nketiah and put the money in the bank. I think we would spend it. Yeah,
I think so. And at the end of the day, no one can really moan at the board for basically selling a player like Aubameyang. If he is in the last year of his contract, you'll get a couple of boo boys that will moan, why are you selling our best player? But business-wise, you don't want to lose a £50 million player for nothing.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah. Okay, well, I mean, Lacazette, he's got another year. His contract's up 2022. It's not, it's not critical at this stage. You time down. He's got a contract offer on the table, but
I think with him it's the same. I think if we don't make the top four, he'll start looking at his options.
Because he didn't want to come to us in the first place, did he?
Mate, he was all set for Atletico, I think.
Yeah, so Atletico Madrid, but they got their transfer ban, and he ended up having to join us. So, I mean, that one, I'm not that stressed about, but I think if we don't hit the top four, I think Uber could be gone. I think Laka will stay. So,
yeah.
but
one thing, I mean, I'd like to see. Obviously, them two are going to start with if they're fit. I'd like to think, but I do think Martinelli's got a massive future.
Oh,
and
massively.
He seems pretty clinical. Like, whenever he's played, he's scored. I know it's against lesser opposition, but you've still got to be there to do it, haven't you?
And that's the thing. I think whilst Aubameyang and Lacazette are both in the first 11, if one of them's injured, they'll just put another player out wide and it won't be him. If you had one main striker, Lacazette, he got injured, then Martinelli would get a shot.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's fine. That's not a problem. Okay, with regards to what else has been going on in this sort of international break, have you been keeping an eye on what transfer people were potentially linked with?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, this always happens this time of year with January approaching.
Gets us all excited.
Exactly, and I try not to sort of take much notice of it because I think it's still a load of rubbish and rumours, but obviously we do need players, but whether we're going to go and buy some in January, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I picked a few. There's been 10s, 20s worth of, there's 5 or 6 different players mentioned every sort of window. Every day. But, players that we have been heavily linked with, we were linked to Upamecano from Leipzig.
Yeah, he's not going to come cheap.
He's not going to come cheap, but apparently we put a bid in, just in the last window. He's what we're after, isn't he?
Of course he is. Well, yeah, I don't think it'll be an instant fix because I don't always think it's purely down to our defence why we're so shit.
Yeah.
I do think it's the protection in front. So until you sort that out, there's worse defences in the league than Arsenal's, but because they've got a bit of protection,
yeah,
they're sort of get by.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. I mean, he'd be a great player. He's young, he's strong. I think he's in France's under-21s, even hitting the first team. So I think if we had him and Saliba next year, I wouldn't be unhappy with that at all. Apparently, Man City have been linked with him as well. I don't know if there's any.
With Man City, I think they're at the moment, because they don't look the strongest at the back and they never replace Company. I think that they're going to be linked with every centre back under the sun.
Yeah, Laporte is out injured as well, so I think potentially they are looking for a player.
He's back in Jan, I believe, isn't he?
Is he back in Jan?
I think so.
Okay, so hopefully.
Obviously, Stones is back, but he looks like he's always got an error in him.
He's got an error in him. Yeah, I think the quality of him's gone down a little bit recently. But no, I'll take him. Also, did you hear about this Xhaka and Shakira swap deal?
I heard about it, but again, is that just the press? Because Xhaka's situation at the minute, is he going to be linked with leaving in Jan? So it's.
Well, apparently we're going to let him go there, and then we're going to have first refusal on this Shakira guy. I don't know why you'd want to get rid of one of your better defensive midfielders for a shitter one, but I mean,
he's done all right in Germany, Xhaka, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, well, I was
well excited when we got him, because I've heard good things about him, and
if we can get what we paid for him back or something close to that, I'd be happy. I just think he needs something different for his career.
Well, I think he's ruined it with the whole. For that boring stuff.
Yeah, he'll play 2 Europa League matches. That's about it.
I think
between now and Jan.
Emery's in a way left. I mean, the international break probably hasn't helped, but he's left it too long now. I think, my opinion, he should have just been thrown straight back in. Maybe when we played Vittoria away.
Yeah.
Just getting back in the action, because now the longer it goes, what's he not played for 3 weeks?
Yeah.
So it's like 4 weeks. Sorry, it's like. Do you know what I mean? When he does come in, the pressure's going to be on him. The boo boys will be out.
Yeah, but the thing is, he hasn't played for a while, and we're still playing rubbish, and we're still not winning, and it's not his fault for them games, is it?
No, of course it's not.
So it just shows that it's not just him; it's the whole team that haven't been playing great.
I mean, when Xhaka, you'd say, is our holding midfielder, and when he was out, I was thinking, well, despite the circumstances that he's not playing, I honestly thought, well, Torreira would just go straight in and play in that kind of role. But then Torreira come in with Guendouzi, but he's still trying to play Torreira further up the pitch, and I think I don't know, I just don't get that one.
Yeah, no. At the end of the day, we're just we're gonna have to see how that one sort of plays out, really. But
if we can get, like you say, half decent money back for him, or get a swap deal for someone that benefits us, then I'm all for it. Because I don't think, before all the Xhaka stuff, I never thought he was good enough, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Last 2 or 3 years, I don't think he's been good enough.
That's not because it's not his fault. He's always been limited, but I do think we need someone with a bit more legs in that position.
Yeah.
Like an Ndidi from Leicester, but can't see that happening.
And then at the end of the day, they're pushing for Champions League. I don't think any players would believe in them.
The only way I think you'll get maybe, if you wanted to pluck a couple of them players, if you got Brendan Rodgers and then he'd go back. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but then them players would come at a bigger premium probably.
But that's life now, isn't it? Like, yeah.
Every player comes at a massive premium, especially in the Prem. But, I mean, I still definitely think we need to add a centre-back. I mean, we've been linked with this, is it Pau Torres from Villarreal?
Yeah.
Have you seen much of him?
Only like YouTube footage and the odd bit of online and that, but not.
I mean, he's in the Spain squad. He's playing really well this season. The only thing that worries me about him, he is still young. And
I don't see us buying, and I don't want us to. I don't want to go and buy another young centre-back. If we got Upamecano, then great, because obviously he's been touted about quite a lot. But with Saliba coming in, would you want to start sort of like next season, your 2 centre-halves at like 20 years old? I still think you need...
Yeah, I mean, with Bellerin and Tierney either side, I mean, it's a young sort of defensive line, but it's good for the future.
It is, but I think we need... more now. Do you know what I mean?
I think we need we need a quick fix. We don't need like something for 4 or 5 years.
It wouldn't be such a bad thing playing two youngsters, but then playing them, say, with a David Luiz in a back 3, which I don't really want to do, but he would give him experience, and I think David Luiz does suit a back 3 more.
Yeah, definitely. It gives them the opportunity to like play out from the back a bit more.
He hasn't got to necessarily mark, because David Luiz, when he gets tight, he just gets spun. And
you've seen he's giving away penalties and everything.
When he's spare, like it was when Chelsea won the league a couple of years ago. As soon as they went to a back 3, David Luiz you thought, oh, hold on, he looks decent.
well, the last player I want to go on to with regards to players coming in, this guy Jesus from Brazil, Renier Jesus, 60 million. 17, 18, looks great on YouTube. I've never seen him play, to be honest. I mean...
Not interested.
Nah?
No.
I mean, apparently, he's a friend of Martinelli's and, that's the reason why Arsenal's of interest.
Yeah,
but apparently all the big guys
are spending 60 million quid on a 17, 18-year-old, I think, buy someone that's going to be good now.
You can get someone good now for 60, 70 million.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we need more. We don't need another sort of prospect as such. I mean, for that sort of money, you think it's still a risk.
Oh, it's a massive risk.
Martinelli, 6 million. You think, well, it looks a bargain, but there's no guarantees these players are going to turn out.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that sort of transfer. I mean, we'd never pay 60 million for someone like that. Maybe 20, 25 million, but it'd have to be, you know, a bloody good player for us to, you know, warrant doing that. So, okay, so that sort of, you know, transfers in. Who do you reckon should leave in, Jan? Who would you like to see leave the club? I mean, obviously Xhaka, but
Xhaka, because of the situation, I think there's not many people I want to see leave. Like,
what about the Mustafis, Kolasinac?
Yeah, I mean, Mustafi, to be fair to him, when he's had to be called upon this year, he's done all right. I know it's against like second-rate Europa League sides, but he can only do what he can do. Do you know what I mean? Like, and you need these players for when you're playing these games.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Kolasinac again, like Tierney's injury record. Do you want to go and ship out your sort of second choice left back? Because now luck, Tierney will go down and you should just then you back to playing Maitland-Niles at left back or something like that. I don't know. I think you do need a squad, especially with this Europa League. Cause
yeah, I mean, I think Xhaka out, but I think we should try and get someone in. One other person I'd probably like to see go out on loan to a Premier League club is Reece Nelson, because I just don't think he's going to get the minutes.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think he is a good player, but I
could see us losing him eventually, because he had that year at Hoffenheim last year where he probably gained a lot of games and he's probably not happy with the situation right now.
I thought he'd be playing a lot more than he is.
It looks like you got Martinelli, Saka, they're all ahead of him.
Yeah, and then they are ahead of him. And then if that Aubameyang or you know Pepe are playing up, there's loads of people in front of him. So
I mean, if you said, people like Saka and that, I'd like to see go out on loan as well, because I know he's played a lot of games,
but he's come out of nowhere this year.
And at the minute, you can get away with, like when we play Frankfurt, you could play Saka and people but when you start getting to like the business end of the Europa League, we can't go in with these players because you'll get beat.
Yeah, you'll get walloped. Yeah, definitely. No, that's fine. Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, obviously, we're linked with players sort of every other day. So we'll maybe talk about a few more sort of people we're linked with in the next podcast. But, okay, one final thing before we go. We're a third way, through the season. I just wanted some player ratings to see how we've been playing. So, Leno, how do you think he's been playing out of 10?
Well, he's made the most saves out of any goalkeeper in the Prem, which, so you think, well, fair play. Like,
does this mean the defence is going to get some poor marks?
Well, I mean, we give away chances for fun, but I'd say Leno, I don't remember him making too many obvious errors. Like, he does what he can do. The goals that he gets beaten with, you think, well, there's not a lot you could have done there, mate. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, his kicking has not been the greatest, but I just don't think the team's working.
He still looks comfortable on the ball.
He looks better than what Czech did.
Yeah.
So what would you give him?
I'd say a 7. He's a steady.
That's quite generous, but yeah, I mean, we're on a minus goal difference, but
then that's that. I don't think that's down to him.
He's not made many individual errors, so yeah, okay, I think 7's fair. Okay, I mean, we won't sort of rate Bellerin because he's only just come back. He's played 2 or 3 games. What about Callum Chambers?
To be fair, I think he's done well. He hasn't played that many games, but I think he's done well when he's come in. He was unlucky to get bombed out after the first. Come in at Newcastle, started at centre back, clean sheet. Didn't really put a foot wrong. Then he got dropped. I'd say a 7. I'd say he's done all right.
Yeah, I think he's done all right. I mean, he's picked up some assists. He's played it, all right in the cup competitions.
He's playing out of position as well. Like, he's played most of his games at right back, and he's all right. When he gets forward, it's not the greatest, but he's doing all right.
Yeah. Now, and to be fair, I would like to see him in defensive midfield. We're lacking something there. He played there last year for Fulham and was their player of the season.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him moved into that role.
Yeah, maybe in certain games. I wouldn't go and chuck him in a Premier League. Well, I was saying that. I mean, our defensive midfielder now is pretty much non-existent. So yeah, maybe it wouldn't be a bad shout.
Yeah, well, you heard it here first.
Yeah.
Okay. Holding again. He's only played 2 or 3 games. We won't rate him. But Socrates, bit up and down. 5, but brutal. But why is that?
It's not really good enough, is it? It's always errors like the one at Spurs where he went charging in, which led to a goal. He's got that in his locker. Pretty poor. I don't
think he's got, good enough sort of...
He's not going to get better, that's the thing. He's 32?
Yeah, 31, 32.
He's not going to get that out of his game now. It's like...
Yeah, I mean, I think 5's...
I love his passion, like I do. I think you need that, and again, when we're sitting there struggling for a captain, people like that I think are better suited to being a captain than, say, an Aubameyang, who's up front floating about. Yeah, 5.
Yeah, I think 5's fair as well. He's made some errors. He's cost us some goals this year. who's always getting spun. So yeah, I think 5's fair. And what about David Luiz?
5.
5?
Yeah.
I was going to say 6 because I think he's been slightly better than Socrates.
His errors lunging in, like he switches off. I got like a good mate who's a Chelsea fan, and he laughed when we signed him. He said, "Look, in his day, he on the ball you can't knock him. He's a great footballer, but he switches off. He is like a kid playing football, and he sort of like he's got an error in him, like the one up at Liverpool. I know it's Mo Salah, and Mo Salah's obviously one of the best in the league, but." He went flying into that one on the halfway line. He was on
a yellow card, so he had to pull out.
Stand off him then.
Yeah, he should have stood off him.
He's not the slowest, David Luiz. I'm not saying he's quick as Salah, but stand up, give the player 5 yards and back yourself.
Okay, yeah, when you sort of bring up these sort of incidents... The
penalty, what was that about?
Yeah.
Like, you've given away a penalty, which you know is going to be given away as a penalty. You'd rather let Salah have a shot, because at least you've got the chance of the keeper saving it.
Yeah.
Giving away a penalty, right...
Yeah, could have saved it. And then that challenge at the halfway line, he could have took his yellow then.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's fine. What about Kolasinac, left back? We do Tierney as well, so...
I'd say Kolasinac is 6. Like, I think he looks nervous on the ball.
He actually he's been better defensively recently since Tierney's back in.
He doesn't look the most comfortable on the ball, which he looks low on confidence, which maybe a new left back coming in, it's probably shook him up a bit, I don't know. Maybe, I mean, he's brilliant at fighting knife crime, but other than that, like, I don't know. I'd say a 6. Like, he hasn't been spectacular. He hasn't been the worst. He's done well.
I think that's fair. I'd give him a 5, but again, I mean, the thing that lets him down, he gets into some really good positions when he goes forward, and his final ball
is terrible. Yeah.
Final ball just lets him down every time. Where Tierney, he's a lot better. I mean, what do you think of Tierney? Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, he's been in and out. Like, now he's fit. I just want him to play every game. Premier League, you're starting, mate. That's it. Go with it.
I'd give him a 6 because he hasn't really played enough games. He's come from
like a dog shit league, That's no disrespect to Scotland, but it's poor.
Yeah.
And he's gonna again. I know it's like he's still in coming from Scotland, England. It's not culturally, it's not much different, but it's still a massive change. The quality.
The quality is so much better in the Prem.
Give him a little bit of time.
Yeah. Now, so what do you reckon? 6 for him as well?
Yeah, 6.
Okay. Well, let's move on to midfield. Let's start with Xhaka.
I'd say the fact that, it's like error after error with him. He's like Gary Neville, I think, said he's the most experienced player that never learns anything. Like,
yeah.
I'd say a 5 with him.
I'm going to go 4 because I just think he hasn't helped the situation.
I'm not basing this based on what he done the other way. I mean, that's not football related. That's stupid. But in terms of footballing ability this year, I think a 5.
I mean, to be fair, the level he's at that level regardless. Emery's still picking him.
Yeah.
He was still picking him, sorry. So, it's not his fault totally. Emery's got to take some of the blame for that. But, okay, what about Guendouzi then?
He'd be a shout for my player of the year. I'd probably say an 8 because I think for a young lad to play this amount of games and he looks so composed on the ball.
I think with him...
He always wants the ball.
He always wants the ball, and if he messes up, he still goes to try and get it again. I feel he's had some really good halves and he's had some really bad halves, but he has been one of our better players this year.
I think Emery hasn't done him many favours at times. Like, you look at the bad games that he's had, like, for instance, say, Watford away... The manager's done that to him by insisting, right, go play it through Guendouzi, and Watford cottoned onto that pretty much straight away.
Yeah.
Which ain't his fault. Do you know what I mean? That's common sense. Like, why'd you keep playing the ball when the Watford players are hounding him?
Yeah.
Obviously, it led to an error, but do you know what I mean? Like,
he's definitely been one of our better players this year. It's just a shame we're relying on a really young player, to control and hold this midfield together.
I'm not saying he's as good, but he's got that sort of Fabregas thing about him that he always wants the ball. He always finds a little bit of time on the ball, and like that's up there in your head more than footballing ability. He's decent. He's definitely one for the future for us.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, it's a good rating. He has been one of our better players. Okay, what about Lucas Torreira?
I'd say a 6. And that's because he hasn't been spectacular, he hasn't been bad, but I feel for him because, in my opinion, he's being played out of position. Again, the manager hasn't done him any favours. I think if you play him in front of that back four, like we said before, you'll see a lot more from him.
Yeah.
He's kind of limited going forward, but the manager's asking him to do it, which is not his fault. So,
I'm hoping this next sort of third of the season, he plays a lot more regularly, and hopefully, his rating will go up. I think it will.
Definitely.
Okay, we'll put Ozu in because he has just come back into the team. and he's been left out fairly or unfairly. It depends, who you speak to. But what do you reckon about Ozil so far?
It's a hard one with Ozil because there's no doubt in what he does. Like, he'll put a pass through like the eye of a needle for you. Like,
yeah.
I'm kind of with Emery in terms of I want more from him off the ball. I think if you're a pressing team, which I think Emery's trying to make us a pressing team.
I don't know if we've stopped doing that or not. Well, I don't know, but yeah.
I think that's what, like, going by Emery's previous teams, that's what he was about. And I think if you've got a player who's not going to press the way you want him to, I get why Emery's bombed him out.
Yeah.
Right, there's a way to do it, and maybe not the way he has done it, but I'd say Ozil with a 6. He hasn't been spectacular, but you know what you're going to get with him.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair enough. And I think with games, I think he will get better, and hopefully he'll start clicking and start and get.
I don't get with like Emery like what he was trying to achieve with Ozil, because it was like, well, I'm getting rid of you, I'm freezing you out totally, but then a bit of fan pressure maybe, and he's back in and started. And I think, well, as a manager, you think, well, that makes you look kind of weak.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Stick to your principles or don't.
Maybe the manager, maybe like the players have lost respect for him a little bit because of it, but you don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Ozil seems like quite a nice person off the pitch, so if you treat him like shit, I'm sure the other players are going to get on, like,
well, for 350 grand a week, I'd be really nice.
Well, yeah.
But I think 6 is a fair result for fair score for him. Central midfield. What about Joe Willock? How do you think he's played this year?
Yeah, he's done all right. He's a young lad. He's made mistakes. He's scored a few goals, to be fair to him. When we've called upon him, he hasn't. I mean, like I say, he's made errors, but you're going to expect that.
Yeah.
So I'd probably say an average 6. Like,
yeah, I'd say that. I mean, I think he's had some good games.
He's played a lot more games than I thought he would.
I think with players of that age, you need to bring him in, take him out, bring him in, take him out. Yeah. Like Guendouzi, normally I think they would have took him out, but he's playing so well and we've got nothing else, then that's why he has to keep playing. Yeah. But yeah, I think 6 is a fair result. Let's go on to sort of the forward line now. So what about Pepe? How do you think our big money man's doing?
I'd say a 6. People will probably say that's too high, but I do think, one, you've got to give him time. He scored a couple of goals. He shows willing. It's not like he's standing around doing nothing.
How long did like Henry and Bergkamp take to sort of, start scoring?
I think Bergkamp didn't score for like his first 6 games. It's a tough league to come into.
Yeah, it is. France is a lot easier. The quality isn't as good. So,
and if he wasn't getting in those positions, like he's trying to take people on. It's not like, you know what he's going to try and do. I think it's a standard 6. Like he hasn't been spectacular. I think there's a lot more to come from him.
Again,
people are going to judge him on his price tag, and harshly or not.
I think the next sort of 10 to 12 games, I think they'll be better than his first 10 to 12 games. So I think he will be better.
Arsenal struggling. If Arsenal are playing really well, you get more from him, but he's sort of playing in a struggling side at the minute. So
he's not even getting in, but hopefully it starts Southampton.
That's another issue I don't really get.
But I think 6 is a fair result. I mean, Lacazette, it's a bit hard to rate him because he's been out injured. He's not really played a lot.
Lacazette, me personally, I mean, I'll give him a 7. I just think he's a nuisance. Like he whatever you get from him, even if he's not playing well, he'll put a shift in. He tries to hold the ball up. I like the guy.
I'd say 6 or a 7. Like I said, he's not really played a lot. He's coming back from injury, so hopefully after this break, he'll kick on. Martinelli,
I'd say a 9 because when he's come in, he hasn't been given many chances in the Premier League, but when he has come in, he's scored every time he's played, I think.
9's quite high. I mean, obviously, I say Guendouzi's been our better first team player, and a lot of what he's done is.
I'm probably basing the fact that his goal to games ratio. I mean, as a striker or a wide man, he always puts a shift in.
Yeah.
He runs his tits off every time he plays. He scores pretty much every time he plays. I'm basing it. Like, if he played, obviously, as much as Guendouzi, his stats wouldn't be as good. But that's how I'm basing it.
Yeah, I mean, he's been really good this year, and fingers crossed, he looks like a great prospect for the future. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing how he develops. And, finally, our captain, Aubameyang, how do you think he's been this year?
Well, I read a stat, before the last couple of games, but if we didn't have Aubameyang, we'd be 19th.
Yeah, it's frightening how many goals that he's scored.
We're quite reliant on him at the minute, which obviously once Lacazzette's back and scored.
I said I wanted to sell him earlier as well.
Well, I know, I get what you were saying, but I'd say with over, given the goals and he's ruthless in front of goal, I'd probably say an 8 or a 9.
Yeah, I'd probably say 8 or 9. I think he's warranted it. He's due. I don't mind him having a couple of bad games because he's basically picked up pretty much all of our points this year. So that's fair enough. Well, fingers crossed. the next sort of 10 to 12 games, these scores would be a lot higher. So we'll do this again on, a future podcast. But that's pretty much it for today. So thanks for listening, guys. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Gunners Extra. But see you soon, Ryan.
See you, mate. Take it easy.
Bye.